Okay, so for question one, we have a question which is saying rank in order from largest to smallest the electric field strength EA to ED at points A to D. Rank in order from largest to smallest the electric field strengths EA to ED at points A to D. So I'm going to call this EA, EB, EC, and ED like that. So we can see the data that we've been given. On EA we have Q and R. On EB we have 2Q and R. On EC we have Q and 2R. Whilst on ED we have 2Q and 2R. So let me go to my blackboard like this. And what do we have? Let's first put down the data that we've been given. So for point A, EA, we know how to say for us to calculate the electric field strength, we use the formula for Coulomb's law. Q multiplied by, K, which is the Coulomb's constant, multiplied by the absolute value of the charge Q over R squared, of which R is the distance between the 2 points or the 2-point charges like that. So for EA, this will be equal to what? Since we only have R, or since we have Q and R, we're going to say the formula will be equal to K multiplied by Q over R squared like that. What about EB? EB, we've been given to say the charge is 2Q whilst the distance is R. So this will be equal to what? It will be equal to K multiplied by 2Q like that over R squared, of which what will be the final expression? It will be equal to 2K Q like this over R squared. What about EC? On EC, we've been given to say the distance is 2R whilst the charge is Q. So we're going to have K multiplied by Q like that over 2R, and we're squaring this. So this will be equal to what? It will be equal to K Q over 4R squared like that. This is equal to what? It is equal to 1 over 4 K Q over R squared. So which means we have a quarter of the charge here, and ED, on ED we have both the R and the Q doubled. So what are we going to have? We have K multiplied by 2Q over 2R squared. And what are we going to get? We're going to get 2Q or 2K Q like this over 4R squared like that, which will be equal to what? It will be equal to 1 over 2K Q over R squared. So you can see here we have half, here we have quarter, and here we have 2 times, whilst here we have 1. And what does it mean? This means the one which has 2 is the largest. So I'll say EB, which is having a 2, is the largest. And this one is greater than what? It is greater than the one which has a magnitude of 1, which is EA. And this is greater than what? It is greater than the one which has magnitude of half, which is ED. And this is greater than the one which has a magnitude of 1 over 4, which is EC. So for us to rank these guys from largest to smallest, we're going to say it's EB, which is greater than EA, which is greater than ED, which is greater than EC in that manner. Okay, so that's the answer for question 1. We can go to the next question. Question 2 is saying an electron is placed at the position marked by the dot. The force on the electron is dash. An electron is placed at the position marked by the dot, the force on the electron is dash. 1, A, 0, B to the right, C to the left, and D, there is not enough information to tell. Okay, so how are we going to tell the force that is uh, on this electron? So we should take note of one thing, and that is that to determine the force of the electron, we have to consider the electric field vectors, these guys that we've been given here. The electric field vectors and their direction. So if you look at these electric field vectors that have been given here, they are all pointing towards the right hand side. So we have to now bring out the formula for finding the force on the electron, of which we say F is equal to what? It is equal to Q multiplied by this vector there, where F is for the force, Q is for the charge, and E is the electric field. So since this is an electron, we have to understand that the charge of an electron is negative, like that. We know to say an electron is negatively charged. So what does that mean? That means the force that we're going to get here is going to have the opposite direction of the initial electric field lines that we have here. Since these are pointing towards the right hand side and the charge on the electron is negative, that means the force that we're going to have here is going to have a negative direction. Hence, what is going to be the answer here? The answer is going to be C, to the left. To the left. And that is all on question 2. Question 3 is saying, which diagram shows an electric or shows the electric field lines surrounding an isolated negative point charge? Which diagram shows the electric field lines surrounding an isolated negative point charge? Okay, so we have these diagrams here, and they want us to show which one is the correct orientation of the electric field lines that are going to be surrounding a negatively charged point there, or point charge. So what must we know here? We know to say a negative charge or the electric field lines are always directed towards a negatively charged or a negative charge. And what does that mean? That means we can take out one of these diagrams that we have here in advance. Since we know to say a negative is always attracting, and we have this one which is showing electric field lines pointing outside. This is the opposite. This one was supposed to be a positive point charge. So option A here cannot be the answer. Okay, what other property is going to help us determine which diagram is correct from here? And another thing that we are going to use is that the field lines, the electric field lines, they actually are radial and not circular. So if you look at diagram C here and diagram D, these field lines are circular, and that doesn't match with a negative point charge, because we said they are supposed to point towards the negative point charge, which means diagram B here is the correct answer for the electric field lines that are surrounding an isolated negative charge. So diagram B here is the correct one. We can move on to question 4. Question 4 is saying charge spheres A and B exert repulsive forces on each other. The magnitude, or QA, is equal to 4 times QB. Which statement is true? A, FA on B is greater than FB on A. B, FA on B is equal to FB on A. C, FA on B is less than FB on A. Okay, so what we're supposed to understand is that these two charges, or these two charged spheres are both positive, and they are actually exerting forces, repulsive forces towards each other. And what does that mean? That means the force that A is going to be exerting on B rather, or this one A is exerting on B, is supposed to be the same force that B is going to be exerting on what? On A. And due to that, we're going to see that our correct answer on question 4 is option B. FA on B is equal to FB on A, and that one is as simple as that. Both of these positive charges are exerting repulsive forces towards each other, and the force that A is going to be exerting on B, no matter the magnitude, is the same force that B is going to be exerting on A, since both of these guys are positively charged. Okay, so question 5 is saying, if each of the charges doubles, what happens to the electric force? If each of the charges doubles, what happens to the electric force? Okay, so the electric force is equal to what? It is equal to K multiplied by the absolute value of Q1 multiplied by Q2, like that, over R squared. Okay, so if this is what we have to take note that they've said both of the charges are being doubled. So F is going to be equal to what? Going to be equal to K multiplied by 2Q multiplied by 2Q, like that. Or let me say Q1 here, then Q2 here, over R squared, like that. Okay, so we're going to multiply the 2 that is inside. And what are we going to get? We're going to get F is equal to 4K multiplied by Q1, Q2 over R squared. So we can see that if both the charges are doubled, the value of the electric force here is going to be multiplied to by 4 times, which means it is going to quadruple. So the answer on question 5 here is A. Where is it? Okay, this one. It is quadruples. Okay, so that is all on tutorial sheet 6. And for those who want to watch the first part of this tutorial sheet, we can actually register with us, Discrete Learning Institute. I've put the link, my number, and the link you can use to register in the description for the video. And for more of such videos, you can actually contact me using the same number that I've put in the description here. Remember to subscribe to the channel and like and share so that we can keep on producing more content for you like this. Thank you very much for watching.